Manic Street Preachers, yeah, Walk Me to the Bridge. Nicky Wire from Manic Street Preachers. What are the bands or the movies that unites you in your band that you have always listened to?
Oh, I think, growing up together, we just had this, the four of us in James's bedroom, it was whether it was the Smiths or it was the more rock side of Guns N' Roses and the Clash and the Pistols and the Who, One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, and Betty Blue, the film Betty Blue and Birdie. I mean, endless books, Sartre, Camus, Ginsberg, Kerouac, T.S. Eliot, Philip Larkin. I mean, nothing's really changed today, That's what I still sort of spend my money on. It's just books, music, art, wherever, I don't drive, I don't wear jewellery, so I just spend my money on that. But yeah, those things that you love when you're 15 to 18, I think they stay with you forever. Echo and the Bunnymen, massive influence.
Now, as you said, you got a lot of influence from the cities in Europe. Is that something that's always been with you, that architecture and arts have been inspiring in Manic Street Preachers?
Yeah, I remember the first time we ever went to a different country, because I'd never been to one before the band, and we flew to Oslo, and the first thing we did was go to the Munch Museum, and we were all dressed up like sort of a mixture of New York Dolls and Hanoi Rocks at the time. And we walked into to look at the Scream and all those paintings. And then we went to Amsterdam and went to the Van Gogh Museum. And ever since then, really, something that's developed more deeply in this record, especially with the Die Brücke movement in Germany, which means the bridge, which had a big influence on the record. Malevich and constructivism. Munch again, there's lots of, I kind of find the visual arts incredibly stimulating, really, and, just kind of the stonework, every city is different, and you scratch beneath. I remember coming here when we played the arena, an ice hockey arena in about 98, 99, and it's just like the loudest roar I think I've ever heard. It was such a cavernous building, and all the ice hockey players gave us their shirts afterwards. So I've still got the shirt, but I just remember the river was frozen at the time. It was really, and we looked out the window and we saw Sean walking across the frozen river, and we were like, "Fucking, don't let my crack, be careful." But just that image, I remember staying with me of just seeing Sean like an explorer in the snow. So yeah, every place leaves a scar. Sometimes it's good and sometimes it's bad, but on the whole, it's good.
You used the same studio where David Bowie has also recorded some of his stuff. Is that something that there is a different kind of vibe when you go in there, when you know that all these great albums have been done in the same place?
I think there is. I genuinely believe that your environment has an influence on the record you make. Just like when we go to Rockfield in Wales, that's a really special place where Oasis, Black Sabbath, Rush, a lot of our heroes recorded there. Or Abbey Road, you definitely feel in Abbey Road that sense of the Beatles and Pink Floyd. And in Hansa, you do feel, especially because Alex Silver, who produced it, he recorded the Holy Bible with us. He's from Wales, but he moved to Berlin, and he works in Hansa. So to go back with him in that environment and kind of feel the energy of the city and the energy of a lot of the music we loved, like Neu and Kraftwerk, a lot of krautrock stuff. And so all those things just came together, and there's a certain ambience wherever you go that you can use to your advantage, I think.
Yeah, you said that there is some similarities with the Holy Bible. So was it because of the people you were working with?
Yeah, I think it was the music more than anything. I don't think lyrically it's not really connected to the Holy Bible, but in terms of the kind of post-punk, fractured, jagged rock, Alex Silver, kind of every reference point we said, he'd get straight away, be it Susie and the Banshees or Pale or Early Simple Minds, he just knew what we meant. So, that makes it much easier. And his partner, Nina Hoss, the German film star who sings on Europa, Geht durch mich, all these little connections, Green Gartside from Scritti Politti, because we've been listening to Scritti Politti a lot, and So there's lots of connections, which, you know, is what makes it all worthwhile.
Yeah, there's a lot of guests on the album. Are those friends from a long time, or someone you just decided after you had written the song that, okay, this song needs this person?
Yeah, I wouldn't say they're friends, you know, because Kian Kieran from Super Furry Animals, we've known a long time, but in terms of everyone else, it's just an idea of what fits the song. Between the Clock and the Bed, which Green Gartside sings on, just felt like the perfect opportunity. I mean, it's a nerve-wracking process because you always think you're going to be turned down. You know, you send someone a song and say, oh, we'd love you to sing this. You know, some people have turned us down, which I totally understand, but when they come back and Green did the vocal up in his little studio in London, we were just blown away. So, you know, be it Nina Persson from the Cardigans or Ian McCulloch from the Bunnymen, we've done some fantastic kind of duets over the years, and it certainly stimulates the sound.
Does it also give a little bit more to the album that you can use different kind of vocals in there?
I think so. You know, James especially James is my favourite singer. I absolutely love him, but he just got a bit bored of hearing his voice, and so it's understandable that he just thought he kind of drove that duet thing on the last two records especially. So it's, you know, Kate LeBon on Rewind the Film on Four Lonely Roads is one of the most favourite things we've ever done. So as a rule, I think it just gives different textures, and, you know, it just adds something tonally to the song. A lot of the times it's the songs I write, because I kind of sing in a really feminine way, and when James tries to sing those songs, he's like, oh, I'm too butch for this, I need to get someone else. So Divine Youth on this record, which I wrote, you know, he sang it all and it just didn't quite work, so then Georgia Ruth, this Welsh singer, came in and just added a different quality, so that's the way it works.
Is there somebody that you would still love to have on your album, but you haven't dared to ask, or haven't had the song yet?
Yeah, there's probably three. John Lydon, I'd love to do some sort of almost like a European rap. I'd love to do something with Lydon. Morrissey, but you know, we're too scared. He's probably my ultimate hero. And I guess Kylie, because Kylie did sing with us live. She sang Little Baby Nothing brilliantly live, and we wrote songs for her, and I'd still like her to sing on a track one day, I think.
Haastattelussa oli siis Nicky Wire Manic Street Preachersista. Jatketaan miehen kanssa jutustelua huomenna. Nyt yhtyöltä joka vanhempi kappale Motorcycle Emptiness. Started, it seems like you're more creative than maybe ever. How do you see where Manic Street Preacher is right now?
Well, in the past, I would have a good answer saying 5-year plan, you know, that we've got this to do and that to do. But it's hard to plan beyond a tour, you know, because the kind of amount of physical energy we use live is pretty grueling now. We do find it waking up really stiff with bad shoulders and bad knees. So we're just focusing on really kind of trying to enjoy this tour and repaying the fans' faith, really, because, you know, we haven't played our own show in Finland for a long time, and to sell it out in a couple of hours kind of means you've got to put something special on. So, you know, we're just looking at this summer, really, with, you know, festivals and the usual stuff, and after that we'll see how bodies are.
You played a couple of shows in UK already. How many new songs do you have on your set list?
3 or 4. I think that's, you know, the album's out July, I think, first week in July. So we haven't done Walk Me to the Bridge yet, which I think we're doing tonight. So it's getting a world premiere in Helsinki.
And I understood it has nothing to do with Richie.
No, it doesn't. You know, it's people always put meanings into everything. I mean, it's about looking back at the band and the kind of standards we set, and how do we still be that kind of glamorous and intellectual at the same time, and just feeling like it's all over, driving on the Öresund bridge that joins Sweden and Sweden and Denmark, and, you know, feeling like it's just at a despondency there by the time the kind of bridge lifts you. It's such an amazing And then by the end of the journey, you get to, and we drive to Copenhagen. We do a great show, and it feels like perhaps everything will be all right. I mean, there's elements of Richie in loads of my lyrics because he's a massive part of the band's history. And if you're writing about the past, obviously he's a part of that. But it really is about something else.
Totally different.
Yeah.
And the final question, at least some years ago, you never played encores on your show. Do you still do it?
We still don't do it.
Why?
I don't know, it's caused us a lot of problems. It just never felt right, I think we kind of put everything into the last song, wherever the last song is. We just leave it all on the stage and don't come back. So if you come in tonight, don't expect an encore.
Everybody's there waiting. If tonight is going to be tonight. Have you ever even considered?
We did it once at the Marquee, the old Marquee in London. It was really early on, around the time of the first You Love Us on Heavenly. And we left it so long to come back that everyone had gone anyway. So we came back on and did this encore to about 10 people. And we just vowed then that... So I think that was 91. So
did it once and
it was so shit. 23 years later, we haven't done one.